Is there anyone else out there in their 40s like me who feels kind of invisible? Like, I'm not as cute as I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm definitely not as fit as I was in my 20s and 30s. I don't have as much hair as I used to have. It's literally falling off, like, the top of my head. Oh! Ah! It's falling off the top of my head. I just spit everywhere. Not as graceful as I used to be. And, like, the hair that is growing back in, it's gray. Which is fine. I'm good with going gray. I've had this gray streak in my hair for a really long time and I've just been rocking it. But like, I don't have any more eyebrows. I don't have any more eyelashes. I just don't feel pretty anymore. Who else is out there who feels this way? Because it can't just be me. But also I feel like there needs to be this whole revolution of women like us on social media to prove to everyone that we're still here and we're still valid and we're still relevant.
Oh, Colleen, you asked who else out there feels invisible? Well, this gorilla has an answer for you. It's real simple. About 80% of the men out there. The average guys. The guys who aren't Chads or Tyrones. And check it out, you don't see those guys doing a revolution to let people know that they're out there. You're really exaggerating everything. I mean, sister, you had 20 to 30 plus years of complete attention from men. Guys tripped over themselves to get with you. But now that you're a decade plus post-wall, you're dating on a harder setting. What do you want us to do? To pull out the violins and play you the saddest song on earth? No, that's not going to happen. Guess what? What you're complaining about is what men have been dealing with since day one when they started dating. Want to know why? Because the wall for them, they smashed through it like coming out of their teenage years. They had nothing, and unless they were genetically gifted, they weren't going to get any attention from anyone, including you. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some of my male viewers out there that are going to say, hey, this is just a taste of your own medicine. Sour grapes and all, sister. This gorilla's not going to go that far. I'm not going to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm just going to be honest about it. But unfortunately, with today's queens on TikTok, apparently being honest is being cruel. I mean, dang, queen, what's going to happen next? The guy's going to ask you to pay half the bill? Oh, snap! The reality is that chivalry is deleted, and queens like you were the ones who fragged it. Moving on.
At what age did you start to feel invisible? Kind of happens, doesn't it? You know, for me, it was when I kind of reached peak perimenopause, and you have that sudden realisation that you've probably just had your last period. And you wake up and you see a few more lines on the face and you see a few more greys in your hair and you just don't feel the same and you feel a bit rubbish most of the time. Perimenopause is a bit of a crazy time, isn't it? You know, you're up and down all over the place. The hormones are going, they're having a party inside. Half the time you can't even remember your own name anyway. But I'm 3 or 4 years post menopause now and things do change. Things definitely get better because I think you start to feel better and the hormones aren't all over the place as they were. But invisibility, I think a lot of it is to do with the fact that in our culture, particularly Western culture, we equate youth with beauty. We conflate the two things. I mean, let's face it, even anti-aging creams, they use a young model that doesn't have a single line on her face. I think what we have to try and do is to embrace our invisibility, girls. You've just got to embrace it.
She's going to sink, Captain.
But she can't sink. She's unsinkable.
She can't float.
Seriously, Queen, are you trying to convince everybody that you noticed the grays and the lines at menopause? Who are you trying to kid here? No. Be honest. You were feeling invisible probably around the age of 40 on up. That's the usual time where women start to notice, hey, I'm not getting the attention I used to get when I was 20 years old. And for good reason, because men give attention to youth and beauty. They're just hardwired that way. In other words, that invisibility that you're feeling is what men have been feeling since they started dating at 16. Congratulations. Welcome to dating at a harder setting. And as always, we have another granddaughter of post-war Colleen here that says that it's society that puts youth and beauty together. No there, sister. It's not society. It's men's preference, okay? Now, the last thing you said, embrace your invisibility. Yeah, that's pretty good. But I would say that you should come to full realization of how you women do it, because it's kind of hypocritical, to be honest with you. You say, oh, well, society is the one that says I'm not beautiful as I age. Okay, question there, my multi-lines wrinkled up Colleen. Was society the one telling you when you were 20 to ignore 80% of the men out there? When you were concentrating on the top 20%? Was society the one telling you, oh, you got to run straight to the Chads and Tyrone Tyrones and ignore the good guy and ignore Mr. Average. Sure, it's always society. Let me tell you some reality. It's not society that doesn't find you attractive anymore. It's the dating market, where your rank in it is placed specifically by men. But you're right, there is a bright side to it. You can now explore the wonders of exotic cats and wine. Moving on.
Welcome to my Glow Up series, part 3. We're going to be talking about invisible woman syndrome. Let me explain. I hate this term so much. Invisible women syndrome. And here's why. The thing, if you're going to be going out, ladies, with a messy hair all up in a bun, wearing old sweats, no makeup, and looking like an absolute mess, you're going to feel invisible. But when you take time to do your hair, put on a little makeup, and wear something that makes you feel confident, you'll start to notice something. You will be seen. It's not about impressing others. It's about showing up for yourself. When you feel good about how you look, your energy changes. You carry yourself differently. You walk differently. You might stand a little taller. And people can't help but to notice. So let's forget the idea about being invisible, because we're not. We are fabulous, we are powerful, and we're full of life. Let's make an effort to show up and remind the world just how amazing we are. Remember, you are not too old and it is not too late. So this is it for part 3 of my Glow Up series. And for part 4, we'll be talking about all things mindset. So stay tuned.
All right, this girl is going to agree with part of what she said. She did say that, ladies, even in advanced age, if you dress up, if you put in the work, you're going to start to see that you're going to get noticed a little bit more. That is true. There are plenty of blue-pilled beta simps out there that will go for a woman like you in the same age range, and older gentlemen that will go for you as well. But that aside, she followed up with a totally false statement, as in, it's not for everybody else, it's for yourself. Cap, total cap. If you dress up, it's for everybody else. If your entire point is to make you feel not invisible, it's because you're trying to get attention from other people. Please don't come up with a phrase saying that this isn't for everybody else, this is for your self-confidence. Do not lie to these women. It is exactly for everybody else. When you say you're trying not to become invisible, it's because you want others to notice you. And women put on makeup and all kinds of attractive dresses and perfumes for who? Men. It's a reality. Accept that first. Now, something else I want to point out, and maybe my male viewers already picked up on this, but I think it's good to expand on it. She said that you're not too old and you're not too late. Question, too old and too late for what exactly? Because if you're dressing not to be invisible and have confidence, what are you looking for? Let me fill in the gaps. Are you trying to look for a relationship? Maybe get a wedding ring out of it? Again, this isn't a, oh, I gotta feel good about me thing. This is a, oh no, I have to impress him kind of thing. And this thing about, oh, I'm having a glow up at this age. Wait a minute, sister, what are you talking about a glow up? I mean, are you trying to revitalize your 20s attractiveness now in your 40s/50s? Because let me tell you something, that thing you had has diminished a lot. I mean, you can use anti-aging creams and all kinds of voodoo shaman ointments along with Wiccan magic. It's not going to turn back the clock, sister. But hey, you do you, honey. Don't glow up too much, then you won't be able to sleep at night. Moving on.
I'm learning with TikTok. And one of the things that I've learned is that silence gets rid of the scrollers. And it also gets rid of the people with negative stuff. So all of those people that have already dropped off, which will be the vast majority, for the people that have stayed, I am looking for you. I am looking for the people who are invisible. Because society has made you invisible, but I've been looking for you, and you're so good at being unseen that even when people look for you, which isn't very many, I will say that, but even when people look for you, you're so good at melting into the surroundings that you've gotten so good at camouflaging. Especially with women with gray hair, that seems to be kind of an automatic ticket where everybody else can't see you, but we see each other.
Sorry. the voices.
All right, let this gorilla get this straight. This is just another multi-decades post-war queen complaining about being invisible, but she decides to make a TikTok video to stay silent, a good chunk of it, to find the other silent women and complain about being invisible to men because they have gray hair. Sister, let me tell you something. You've got this kind of mixed up and confused. What you need to do is try to make yourself more visible, and then when you finally get a man at this advanced age, and you can hold on to him, use that ability that you're showing right here to keep that mouth shut, and I promise you, he'll stick around longer. I mean, every time you get an urge to nag your man about the slightest thing, use this spidey ability that you have right here. Silence is golden. I mean, you can complain all you want and say, okay, you know what? We're invisible, but I see you, you see me. Hey, be seen, not heard. That's how you get over the invisibility part. Trust me, men would like to be with you. They would like to see you. They just don't want to be nagged to death. But so far, sister, you've shown an Avengers level ability. And that is the ability of one of the S's that men like. You know, they like silence, sandwiches, schmecks, and submissiveness. You definitely got one of the S's down. Keep it up, sister. 3 more to go.
It's an automatic communication, an automatic getting it. I love it. I encourage way more women to go gray, to age. Because after the age of 40, you get an automatic inclusion into the invisible club. A lot of people get automatic inclusion at other ages and for chronic conditions or sickness or illness or for whatever reason. But I'm going to be starting an invisible club because I want to talk to just the invisible women, because I know you're out there and I know you've got something to say. So let's get together.
Oh, this Queen wants to encourage way more women to go gray for inclusion into the Invisible Club, aka Cat Ladies Assemble. Listen, Queen, it's no secret that misery loves company. And you trying to play this mystifying, oh, we need to go gray, we need to talk. That's really not going to work. You got to understand that most women actually do want to be in a relationship with a man, especially those that are post-war like you. And contrary to what you may believe, there's nothing that you can say that's going to fill in that void. I'm sorry, but for every woman that screams out, oh, I don't need no man, there's always another woman who's drinking down to the bottom of a wine bottle crying, where are all the good men at? With meows in the background. And I wish that I made that up, but unfortunately that's a reality for a lot of post-war females out there. What you need to do is accept that you're no longer going to get the attention you got when you were in your 20s, and accept the attention of men who are probably 20 years your senior. You will be the young woman there and you'll get all the attention you need. I mean, you can rock this Cruella de Vil look all you want, but it's not going to get you Prince Charming now, is it? Well, at least in your case, you want a King Charles.
Game over, man. It's game over.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.